Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Guile here, and welcome back to another Supreme Commander Epic. That's right, it's that time of the month, well not that time of the month, but a time of the month when the replay lasts just a little bit longer than usual. If you haven't got time to watch it now, as always guys, dump it in your watch later playlist and catch it when you do have time. Lots of people getting in contact saying you enjoyed the format last week, the daily cast for 7 days. I'm glad you enjoyed it guys, it's all good. Lots of you have been saying, will I be doing more of it? Well, yeah, I will probably be doing more of it at some point, maybe for some coverage from more tournaments and things like that, but it won't become a regular feature, mainly not because it was particularly difficult to put together. The games were short, and once I had the replays, which I've said many times before, that's the really time consuming bits, finding the replays. Since I had them there, I was able to bang out all of the 7 casts because they were short in just a couple of days and then upload them sequentially. But the issue is, although the view count stayed the same because it was the same group of people watching multiple videos, the reach was a lot worse, so it didn't reach as many new people. My new subscriber rate really fell off a cliff. It was sort of essentially cut in half. And that is, after all, the main purpose of this channel, is PR for FAF, to try and expose the game to new people and get fresh blood in for the meat grinder, so to speak. So that really needs to be my priority. As such, we're going to return to the tried and tested format of what we're bringing you today, more standard and longer casts with the action, which I know lots of you enjoy also. So on to today's game. It's going to be custom 5v5. It's going to be average Joes, those masters of mediocrity who miss multiple opportunities to finish off their opponents. That's probably why it's an epic, actually. And it's going down on Canis 5v5 special edition, I think. Fixed Hydro, one of the two, I'm not sure. But nonetheless, we'll go check it out. I'm ready, you guys are ready, and the players are sure as hell ready. So let's go over to the game zone and see how they're going to get on. And there'll be a big blank screen as it kicks up the dust on the seabed and blows it through the filters. There we go, there it is. It's because I didn't load it beforehand. And yeah, my bad on that. Anyway, let's check out Team 1. Canis, we know what we're doing. But feels like we haven't been on Canis for ages, doesn't it? Feels like an absolute age. An aeon, or rather an eon, not an aeon. Anyways, going first for Team 1, it's Kokosina. In Halliborange Orange, he's going Cybran opening first land. Team member number 2 down here, Psycho Ad, another Cybran in Baby Pink opening first land. Team member number 3 in Burgundy Red, it's either AI Dominix or Owl Dominix. I'm guessing it's probably AI Dominix. Our first Seraphim of the day opening first land. Team member number 4 in Mellow Yellow, it's Shmoo. And he's going Aeon opening first land. And last but not least, sounds like he's straight off the set of a new Star Wars show, or from a book or something, General Valdobi. Doesn't that, I mean, it probably is a Star Wars character. I'm no lore master by any stretch of the imagination, but it just sounds like one to me. Anyway, he's going Seraphim opening first land in Elephantine Grey. Let's check out Team 2 down here at the bottom. Already on the move, it's DeLovely. He's DeLovely. And he's UEF, and he's moving out, and he went first land. Team member number 2 over here, my good friend GFY Depony in Pontiff White. He's going Cybran Naughty Naughty, opening first air. On to the middle, and also on the move, it's Noob Dragon, and he is going Cybran in Ferrari Red, opening first land. Team member number 4, Scarlet Princess in Breast Cancer Awareness Pink, opening first land. And last but not least, right at the back, in Cyanide Cyan, it's Koff going UEF, and he's gone double first land. So there we are, all of the engineers and ACUs leaving the base up there for Team 1 as quickly as possible, as are Team 2, off to their respective positions. You can see DeLovely moving up to the east there, a land factory already queued up for him right at the edge, all part of the very much standard meta that we're used to on dear old Canis. It's like an old friend that you haven't seen for ages. I don't know if you feel that way. Maybe it's just me. This is like a work colleague who was moved downstairs to the mailroom because they'd done something wrong or inappropriate with a female colleague, and now they've been invited back. Welcome back, Canis. It's good to see you. Scarlet Princess rolls forward and gets the Hydro there with his commander. Up here, Al Dominix, or AI Dominix, advancing into the river. Where is he going? It looks like he's being aggressive And he's going to start trouble south of the river, set up shop something around down here. It's going to be a contention there for Princess nearby. Also crossing the river, more or less at the causeway, Psychoad with his comm there. Anyone actually keeping their comms in the base is generally not the done thing these days on a map like this. Oh, Hero Selen trying to take down an engineer before it finishes the hydro, and he's going to manage it. What a royal nuisance he's causing of himself. Stealth not yet activated, and he goes on to cause yet more problems elsewhere. We've already got a Tham down here. These two units out from General Valdobi. And they're going to cause problems for some of these mexes. There's another couple of engineers over here. Team 2 really need to get a handle on this situation and send something across the causeway to deal with it. We've got one striker and Snoop and another striker over here, but yet more engineers are going to end up in trouble to this sneak attack. That Selen 1 kill, that Tham 4 kills, and it's now 6 engineers that have died to these 2 units. And another one's about to go down. I nearly said a boot. I like to pretend I'm from Canada. Very clean air, you see. Could do with some of that, living next to the road that I do. Depony and Noob Dragon opening up on Shmoo. And yes, before you're wondering, I am going to be saying Shmoo in that way for the rest of the game. It just sounds like that's how the name's supposed to be said. Shmoo. On the way. 8,000, well, now up to 9,000 now hit points and in retreat. Depony and Noob Dragon. They're a force to be reckoned with in that particular position. 2v1. T2 upgrade on the way for Koff, meanwhile. Hasn't taken himself all the way over to that plateau as yet. Usually they buzz around this area, that position up at the back. Gun upgrade on the way for Shmoo. Ah, and a transport. Where are we going with that? Are we going to try and steal the plateau or generally make trouble? No, we're not. He's going to drop off in this little forest section here and scoop some of the mass that's littered in the local area. Gun upgrade 75% done and nearly complete already. 3 engineers assisting that. So Shmoo now with the at least one of the tools to fight back more effectively against Dominic's and Noob Dragon. Sorry, not Dominic's, that's his friend. It was Depony, wasn't it? He was fighting off. Dominic's is his teammate who's come back across the river, which has actually allowed Princess to expand out slightly and is now putting her up against Psycho Ad, who's going to drop his spam back. Princess with one of the gun upgrades there. Rate of fire and range. And that's not a good time to start your upgrade. If Princess keeps moving forward, she might be able to cancel this. She's going to have to kill off a lot of the spam first. He has got 3 factories in place already, so he's going to be pumping out more units all the time, but he's really not going to want to have to cancel that upgrade. 40% done there already. I think he's probably going to be okay, unless, of course, we get these Zuis in range, and then he's really going to have to think about it. Princess doesn't have to go toe-to-toe. She could drop back with the commander and stay out of Psycho Ad's range with that gun upgrade she's got. But the Zuis are going to add to Psycho's problems substantially. He's not going to give up now, not going to lose 80% of an upgrade. Taking an absolute battering, 5,000 hit points. He's down below 50% health, but he's getting some assistance now in from the west, from Kokosina, bringing in a bunch of spam. That's going to direct Princess to engage those instead. Still the occasional Zui shell landing. Psycho Ad very close to going into the red, but he does complete that upgrade and now able to advance and engage at will, but it's probably going to drop back and rep up a little bit. Personally, I would if I were him. Engineers for Princess have set up a little emplacement, a place for her to retreat to. That could well be a man playing that, but I'm going to be referring to they as a her for the duration in this crazy new world we're living in. I could just refer to they as a they, couldn't I? Scarlet Princess trying to beat down some of these Mantis belonging to Psycho. More Mantis storming in from Kokosina, but that's not going to last very long, especially up against the point defense. What's happening over in the east as General Valdobi gets some brave ideas, advancing forward with his spam. A few Zooies in the mix, takes down the Hydro, down goes the mechs, and the Land Factory probably going to follow it. DeLovely, not wanting to try and hold that position, is going to drop back. And Shmoo, after going for double upgrade on his gun, has advanced all the way to Team 2's causeway. Depony going to hold the line down here, working on a couple of Cerberus turrets. He's got the T2 engineering suite on board the commander. No, sorry, that's one Cerberus turret there. And a radar and a couple of decoy point defense wall emplacements. Shmoo wastes no time in advancing forward. Really needs to finish off the Cerberus turret. Depony trying to block those incoming shots with his comm and keep the Cerberus turret alive for longer. Starts work on a new point defense, a T1 this time, a little bit further back. Gun upgrade on the way for Noob Dragon. That's 85% complete, so Depony should have some reinforcements soon. That will be a major surprise when he pops out of the river and unloads on Shmoo, who's very far forward. He has got a lot of spam in the area as well, but that's drifting off towards DeLovely. DeLovely, who's into the yellow on 9,000 hit points there. Depony looking a bit peaky now after all of this engagement. Is down into the red almost. There it goes, sub 3,000 hit points for a moment, then he regens over it once again. Noob Dragon engages Shmoo, but Shmoo already backing up. 6,800 hit points there, doesn't want to force a bad position, and I don't blame him. Meanwhile, over in the west, Kokosina getting an upgrade, stealth upgrade on that Cybran comm. We've got a lot of Cybrans today. What are we looking at here? 1, 2, 3, 4? Seems like more than that. 4 or 5, certainly. Might just be 4. But nonetheless, we've been focusing in on them a lot, and Princess in trouble here as Dominix comes across the river. Where is her help? She's got none, and she's got no hit points either as she goes out. The first person to be ejected, almost on the nose of 11 minutes, and it's Team 2 who are down a player now and playing catch-up. Is full share on? No, it is not, so no fairies have to die today. Glad to tell you. Now, what's going to be the response from Team 1? Are they going to use this as an opportunity to advance? Dominix badly damaged on his comm, about 6,800 hit points there. Would probably love to stick around and set up shop over here with the demise of Princess, but probably just doesn't feel like he's got the hit points to do it. Psycho Ad also pretty badly damaged. He's at about 50% health, maybe just over. They're going to take a win and drop back, it seems. Shmoo, 8,300 hit points there. Depony with some better defensives set up on the causeway now. Some flak, a zapper for tactical missile defense, a couple of Tech 1 point defenses and a Tech 2 PD. Generally looking a bit better all round. Interesting. So some cormorants were constructed, or being constructed in fact, by Dominix. Are they aware of some comms loitering in the river that I am not? Well, the only comm in the river so far is Dominic, so maybe that's just a contingency. Something to hit back at one of these comms in case they force one into the river. They can immediately go for the jugular. That's good preparation as far as I'm concerned. Kokosina with that stealth and gun upgrade, advancing forward, taking down a Tech 1 mass point belonging to Koff. Hasn't got a lot of support, it's got a little bit of ground spam, a little bit of T1 spam here, 2 Sky Slammers, 2 Medusas and 5 Mantis, but he has got some more coming behind. T2 upgrade on the way for DeLovely, who we saw in reasonably poor shape a while ago, withdrawing from the front line. Completes that, goes straight for the gun upgrade afterwards. That should help him advance forward and reclaim some of this territory which has been secured for the time being by General Valdobi. A lot of spam in the area, mainly Thams, a few Zuis. T2 land HQ, 56% done on the way to T3. What are we doing elsewhere on that front? Well, we're going for T3 all across the board, it would seem. Valdobi going for T3. Ah, that looked like that was on an upgrade. It's actually not. So Kokosina still at T2, as is Shmoo. And we did go for T3 for Dominic's, but he went for T3 Air, and now working on the all-important power generation needed to sustain T3 Air production. Apparently Dominic's lagging the game for everybody. How very unfortunate for our players. We feel for them deeply. How comes the recriminations? Dominic's saying sorry, and lovely apparently. But us watching this game retrospectively don't have to worry about any of that. Only thing we have to worry about is how well my computer can contend with all of the information. It's not too plugged up with porn at the moment, so we're doing fine. Kokosina just strutting his stuff in the middle, reluctant to attack or advance any further. It's a relatively secure position with a T1 and T2 point defense, but a major push with the comm wouldn't keep that out. He'd be able to run over that and claim those 3 mexes. But then, of course, would he be vulnerable to counter-attack back through the gap he'd opened in the middle? Probably why we're not seeing much movement on that front. Let's take a little bit of time to see how the teams are doing eco-wise. It does seem like Team 2 are ahead in generated eco. 451 versus 385, something like that, although that might have been power related. We did get a spike for a moment there, but they've dropped back down, Team 1 to 387. Who is pulling in the most? So the high stakes players, the high rollers in mass, are Deponi for the time being, DeLovely and General Valdobi. Not too surprising. Well, DeLovely's doing quite well. Koff as well on 118, but they are generally the higher rated players, the 1600, the 1500, the 1300. Now, Kokosina with a half-baked attack. That is not the attack that you want to go in with. He's got a few Medusas still alive, thanks to the shape of the land there, blocking that triad fire. But if he really wanted to cause problems, he needed to commit there with his commander. But you never know what could turn up, like a whaler, for instance, and could get you comm in serious trouble if you haven't got solid air protection from your teammate. We do have a couple of air superiority fighters there from Dominic's, a couple of Geminis in the middle of the map. And that whaler just wailing away on the brand new land factories, the 4 brand new land factories that Kokosina had erected. So many Sky Slammers down there. They're not the ones doing the damage though. T1 tech horridly obsolete. It's those 3 Geminis that were brought in to deal with it, and indeed deal with it they do. Down goes the whaler, saving 2 of the land factories at least, and the central mechs that were supporting them. One Titan out front being an absolute hero. Not paying him minimum wage, that's for sure. Look at him go. Bish, bash, bosh, cutting down those Mantis as they stroll into range. There are, of course, a bunch of pillars back here and some point defense also. So that attack was going nowhere. So really, an indecisive couple of plays to the left and right there from Kokosina gets his position severely weakened. Another whaler belonging to Noob Dragon gets taken out there by Dominic's, who's rather on point right now with his 3 ASFs. Tactical hits, getting in, taking out the enemy and getting out. Deponi and Noob Dragon moving their commanders into the river. Have we been stockpiling torpedo bombers the whole time? No, we've just got the 4. And now we are getting to that stage of the game. Things are heating up. An experimental under construction. The experimental that we always expect to see first when there's a Cybran player in the mix. Although it's actually an Aeon player who's been gifted a Cybran engineer who's building it. It is the Monkey Lord. The cheapest, the most tin foil, well, with the exception of the Fat Boy, of course. And that is arguably a better decision if he's not going to go straight in with the comm. Get some Vipers out and try and overwhelm the defenses at range. Koff says, I don't like that, thank you very much, and is going to roll up with a platoon of pillars in around the rock formation. Unfortunately, forced to come in at single file, but he's also coming in from the other direction in a combined attack, catching this spam right in the middle. He's even got a Percy in here, a couple of Percys in fact. This T1 spam and the Vipers stand absolutely no chance. They're going to be cut to ribbons. And that, as they say, is that. He'll lose the odd pillar here and there. But those Mantis, absolutely no match for those Titans. A little bit of assistance in from Psychoad. Further to the northeast. But the sortie was successful. Is it still a sortie if it's a ground-based mission? Does sortie only refer to air missions? Answers in the comment section below if you know the answer to that one, guys. And while you're down there, hit like, subscribe, and the bell and all that jazz if you haven't already. We all know, as regular YouTubers, YouTube frequenters these days, that is the secret to mass algorithmic success. Shmoo sending mass to Valdobi. Wonder what he's built. What is he building? Ah, okay. He's assisting the Monkey Lord production. Almost seems like they weren't ready to build that. Is that the... Oh no, that's why. It's the second one. I was like, that's taking an awfully long time to build. But they did complete the first Monkey Lord. I missed the notification, as I'm prone to doing. I think that's part of my charm. My ineptitude. That's why you keep coming back. So you can yell at me in the comments when I miss something. It's probably half the reason why I've kept going. The extra comments in the comment section, picking up on what I miss. Now, strategic missile defense started with a nice template by the looks of things. Major shield coverage, T3, T2, and some T1P gens to assist missile construction. Have they seen someone working on a nuke launcher? Not that I can see, but as we've just been discussing, that doesn't mean it's not already there or not happening. But we better cut back to the Monkey Lord, which is crossing the river. How much trouble are Team 2 in? Well, they seem to have a very solid range of view. They must have a perimeter monitoring station up. There it is. Deponi thinking ahead and getting one of those, but that is very close to the front door and in danger of stomping right the way through it. A second Monkey Lord completes back at base for Shmoo, who is about to break some faces as he rolls up to that shield, hoses the point defense, the shield gens, the stealth gen, the zapper, and everything that sits behind it is now in jeopardy. Oh, the core mass that used to belong to Princess in jeopardy now, although not being prioritized, as the laser automatically homing in on weapons in the local area. If you look on the mini-map as well, you can see by the looks of things, it looks as though Psycho Ad is advancing forward. Koff completes a Fat Boy in the nick of time, but it's very close to the Monkey Lord. Won't take long for the Monkey Lord to dispatch it if it can train its lasers on it, but it's not managing to. It's getting an awful lot of inbound hoplite fire from Deponi's forces there, and that actually, in combination with the Fatty, manages to finish it off. And astonishingly, Koff only loses a mechs and some other peripheral units and whatnot, manages to hold on to his power generators, 3 of his T3 mexes, and they lost 3 of the 4 core mass out of the front. But that is a very, very good outcome. Could argue that the wreck deposited now in the safety of their main base actually more than offsets the damage that was inflicted. Very unfortunate there for Team 1, and they haven't gone steaming in with the second one after the first had such limited success. Instead, they're going to hold on to it either defensively or they're going to stockpile some more firepower. DeLovely's been very quiet over in the east. In fact, he kind of set up shop. He got the gun upgrade. He got the T2 upgrade on the comm, and then he set up shop and then dropped back. And now he is working on a Novax center. So we've got some standoff tactics on the way. Even got personal shield as well. Good old Novax. Gonna pop out and start making a royal nuisance of itself. Plenty of vulnerable buildings and units in the main base, still exposed outside of shield coverage. And Team 1 probably unaware of the danger. No, they have scouted it. So if they're paying attention, they should... Novax, literally paying attention while I'm talking about it. There's the ping. So expect more resources from Team 1 to go into shield production now as they prepare themselves for satellite attack. And Nuke Dragon with a Monkey Lord of his own, following in behind some bricks from Deponi. Now those bricks will dip into the river, absorbing some longer range fire from Shmoo's second Monkey Lord. And Koff's Fat Boy, that we saw narrowly avoid obliteration earlier, has moved forward and is now harassing the forward position of Psycho Ad, but needs to be careful. Psycho's been specking up some artillery pieces at this forward position, but they're currently unshielded. 2 are completed. There's 3 more queued up for production. Back to the river though, and the Monkey Lord for Shmoo fares very badly indeed in an exchange. I think it took out all of the bricks from Depony. That will have dealt the majority of the damage, but that coupled with the Monkey Lord coming in behind, that was just too much, and now suddenly there's potentially a problem, or maybe not. A massive wave of Notha fighter bombers unleash their payloads, and in one pass, less than a single pass in fact, that threat is eliminated. No aerial response straight away. They're going to push on towards the fat boy from Koff. Oh, it's Toofer. It's Toofer. Surely they're going to bug out now. Noob Dragon sending what air superiority fighters he had into attack, but there will still be a substantial number of fighter bombers that survive that to be used again. Now the Novax is completed. It's hovering over the bases right now of Team 1. It's found an exposed Tech 3 P-Gen belonging to Shmoo. Take more than one blast to take it out though, I think. Yeah, need a second one. Need to charge again. Doesn't take so long to charge though. Engineers working against the clock to get shield coverage up around that P-Gen, but it's not going to work, and it's going to lose some engineers in the process. Needed to be ready with a reclaim order to stop the volatility explosion and save some of those engineers, but alas, doesn't manage it. He's found another exposed power generator over here. That one belonging to Psycho Ad. But you can see the number of shield gens increasing. Very vulnerable is Kokosina up the back, who's just completed a Monkey Lord. But down goes one of those reactors. Wouldn't be surprised if he moves on to the back. That's begging for it. But Depony operating a Fat Boy for someone else. I don't know who gifted him it. I doubt he built it himself. He's not UEF after all. But it looks like he's about to lose it. Notha's coming in to claim that one. Depony did cross the river with a couple of combatant preset support commanders as well. Threw down a land factory and some flak. That flak did take down a bunch of those fighter bombers in that exchange. Would probably have liked to set up shop more permanently and dug himself in properly. That's probably why he moved the Fat Boy across the river, but alas, just wasn't able to make it stick. There was too much pressure. And are we going to get some cyber nastiness on the cards? 8% done on a laser upgrade there for Noob Dragon. Second Novax almost complete, in the green now, 75% done, and that's when things start to become a problem and you have to start looking to snipe people to get rid of them, because look what that one Novax is doing. Oh my word. Go Casina. His base is not looking good right now. I thought that was someone dropping out, but it was one of Depony's support commanders going pop at the river. And going pop at the river is what all the cool kids are doing these days. Sounds like a horrible metaphor for river-based tombstoning. Don't try it, kids. Kokosina taking some fire now and had to cancel his RAS upgrade. That's horrid. I didn't get a chance to see how far through it he was. Answers in the comments, guys, if you got caught that. Needs to get himself in the river. He's going to get himself ionized. He's too far away from the shield. Why are you going that way? Would have been much closer to get to the river. Surely we're going to get a comm kill here. Kokosina, 700 rated player though, so you can't be too harsh. Clearly DeLovely doesn't feel the same. I'm going to hose him out of this game with my enormous orbiting weapon of doom. There is nothing more frightening than an orbital-based hose, as the second orbital-based hose traverses the map. This is now a distinctly boring situation for Team 1, as they need to try and find a way to deal with it and not let their power outages expose their base. That is very ill-advised. He was working on power as it stands, but you definitely don't want to do too much of that. A second experimental for Deponi across the river, and a second wave of Notha fighter bombers from Valdobi unleash their payloads. Who said T2's not effective in the late stages of the game? That's very effective. As long as you can keep those suckers alive. They're probably not going to be able to finish it off, though. Those Notha fighter bombers, very, very susceptible to air-based T3 attack. It's probably worth a gander, though. You don't even need to stick around. One more, or half an attack, will probably finish that off. I suppose I can leave it up to the bricks, who've crossed the river there for Psycho Ad and done the job for them. Why expose your fighters when you've got perfectly good ground-based alternative willing to sacrifice themselves instead, which they have. But they got the job done. RAS upgrade on the way for Valdobi, and now it's Psycho Ad's turn to feel the wrath of the space hoses. He looks like he's heading towards the river. That's not a terrible decision, but I do feel sorry for him and his base. Getting the Novax treatment. Have we got another Novax on the way? Generally, once you get started and you have success, it's not a terrible idea to keep going, and that's what he's doing. And fearful of cyber and counter-attack via teleportation and laser to the face, he is working on an uber quantity of Tech 1 PD, probably happening all round. Indeed it is. Lots of point defense going up, although I don't actually see any comm in the vicinity there. Maybe that's to protect the strategic missile defense. It probably is. Speaking of lasers, that Noob Dragon laser still under construction. 85% done there on the comm. Does he have teleport? No, not yet. So he's still got another one to do there.
Detected.
And there goes a nuke. So it was a threat well observed, but it is not going after the main base. It is, by the looks of things, going after that position down here. That position down here. The odd mechs, but nothing too vital. They'll be a little unperturbed about losing that. 3 mechs is down, though. Still hurts. Saw in the comments on the one of the previous casts, people objecting to the constant clearing of the throat, guys. Apologies about that. It is a condition I'm receiving treatment for. That is a badly damaged Monkey Lord belonging to Psycho. A mere 2,000 hit points left on that puppy. But the advance is on over in the east. With the success of the Novax, DeLovely has accrued an enormous amount of Percivals as well, and he's advancing forward with Noob Dragon's assistance there. That megalith, that is a very dangerous pile of units. They do have some anti-air capabilities as well. They've got the odd Cougar in there, the odd Skyboxer. In come the aircraft nonetheless. It's all that they have to hit back. They're going after the megalith to begin with. Lots of strats, lots of Notha fighter bombers. They do about 1/3 damage in a single pass, but they're not going to get many passes thanks to all of the flak And the anti-air, look at them obliterate that aircraft. One strap bomber remaining on about 200 hit points. No, that gets shot down. Oh, there's another 3 over there. But the majority of the Percivals are through. The Megalith is very badly damaged, down to 23,000 hit points. But that plateau is now bang in trouble. Over here, Koff skirmishing with those bricks belonging to Psycho. Another wave of strap bombers, this time in from Dominic's, the main air player. Percival's quite well spread out though, so they should still be able to complete the conquest here. Whether or not they actually gain any territory, that's another thing, but they will at least dismantle all the infrastructure on this northeastern plateau. Another Novax satellite crosses the river. That is now going to be 3 hovering up at the top of the map. That is a lot of damage to try and blot out with shield coverage. And it's going to get worse and worse all the time. Have we got another Novax on the way? Yes, we do. Another one on the way. Are we seeing any Tech 3 artillery? Yes, we do. Deponi's got that one covered as he's working on a disruptor. This is looking very, very dicey now for Team 1 as they control K, that very badly damaged Monkey Lord we saw earlier belonging to Psycho. Ethota under construction in the main base of Valdobi. Couple of Percys making it somewhere sensitive. 3 to be precise. They're going to be able to take out an ion reactor and its shield gen. Might even bag themselves T3 mechs while they're there. Oh, I don't know. Is that other last one out of range? That second one's about to go down. No, it isn't. Will one more shot do it? Yes, it will. That's paid for itself. Be happy to sacrifice 3 Percys for a shield gen, a T3 P gen, and a T3 mechs. Looks like he might have got some more stuff killed on his way through. Depending on how many units he lost on the way in, of course. That approach now being covered by a brick wall belonging to Psycho. Psycho, who looking like he might be the main recipient at the moment of the satellite fire. No, it's not. It's actually Shmoo. Look at the damage it does. Absolutely brutal. It went from being a completely pointless unit to arguably being overpowered, but at least it is now worth building. Strap bombs in over the top. Going for DeLovely, who's all the way back here. They've got a lot of bombs away. This would be huge if they could pull this off. He's got a personal shield. He survives the first pass. Just barely. They do take... No! They've taken out all 3 of the Novax, though. It's hard to tell who was the main target. Was it DeLovely's comm, or was it the Novax satellite? He's still got bombers alive, though. He'll get both of them regardless. That is huge. Dominic's the 1,000 rated player with the successful snipe. Takes out the Novax satellites first of all and then finishes off the comm. That's massive. That's absolutely massive, because they were penned in against that satellite fire, and although they have some disruptor fire coming in now because of that satellite threat, that base is now very, very heavily protected. Masses of shield gens throughout. It's going to be hard to break that right now with a single T3 artillery, nigh on impossible. they're going to have to build a lot more or switch tactic. Now, are we going to see the beginning of the fight back from Team 1? They've been really muted. They lost ground up here at the top right. They're now expanding with the demise of DeLovely. They lost Kokosina over in the west to that first satellite or two. But DeLovely and Princess now, their exits mean that Team 2 are down a man once again. Inbound Ethota from Valdobi. What have we got up on this little plateau here? Well, it's not too lightly armoured. We've got a bunch of Percivals in here. We've got a couple of Ravagers. But only a T2 shield. And he is softening it up with some Trebuchets first of all. He can collapse the shield and force the units out, which is what looks like what he's doing. Should be able to overrun that position pretty comfortably and still keep a decent amount of HP on that assault bot. Forward position of the river for Deponi, building his second Soothsayer. He's all about the perimeter monitoring stations, it would seem. I won't lie, they are a truly handy piece of kit. A fat boy into the southeast now from Koff, moving across, and that is probably what's prompted Valdobi to drop back with his assault bot, which actually, I mean, it took out everything of threat on the ground. There are 5 damaged flayers on that plateau now, but it got the job that it wanted to get done, so to speak. Valdobi transferring units to Dominic's. Hello. Look at that. Scathis under construction, or at least started with 1 T3 engineer. No major commitment to construction as yet. We'll see if that changes in the coming minutes. Deponi working on another disruptor now. Looks like his second. But as we said before, this base comprehensively shielded now. It's going to be very difficult to break with standoff tactics alone. Now let's take a look at general mass situation. It's very close on generated eco. It's 1.1k a piece, jostling up and down admittedly. Overall, Team 2 is up 1.7 million versus 1.6 million, 1.73 to versus 1.64, something like that. But then of course you have to factor in the fact that they've had an extra base worth of extra players worth of mass to re-harvest, re-reclaim, which will of course distort the figures, as we always mention. High rollers in mass so far. Deponi, Shmoo, Psycho. Deponi absolutely rolling in mass. Eco going very strong indeed. Needs to sort his power situation out though. He's barely keeping up with his production, whatever he's producing. Do not reclaim these. I wonder what that was for. It's been moved off map nonetheless. Maybe it was for the Novax satellites, which are being reconstructed now by Deponi, who has liberated some UEF tech, or had it donated, and his rover drones now working on new satellites, which will be a similar problem, a very familiar one for Team 2. But just look at the shield coverage. It's formidable just in this area alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Tech 3 Cybran shields, another one on the way, an upgraded Seraphim shield, sorry, an upgraded Cybran shield there. That's a lot of strat bombers. So Dominic's, who had such success with the strats on the last run, potentially queuing up another attack here, needs to find the right target. Pony over here with his commander. Looks like he's heading in towards the river. Some ASFs come in for Dominic's, perhaps as part of a scouting maneuver for the next attack, which will be the strat bombs. But then he thinks better of it. An attack ping goes out, warning everybody of that. Not all of these strats are Cybran. They're part Seraphim, part Cybran, but they're all under Dominic's control. Probably why he hasn't bothered to enact stealth mode. Only half of them are covered anyway. Koff moves his fat boy back up onto the ridge and has set up shop once again after losing it to that Ethota earlier. Again, only a single Tech 2 shield, but it is a presence nonetheless, and a presence that's allowed him to plop a fatty right on the top of that hillock and take out those 3 mobile artillery pieces with artillery fire of his own. But in come the strat bombs. Noob Dragon is hot on the pulse, ready and waiting, and just a look at the comprehensive Myrmidon fire. Depony with an outrageous amounts of anti-air in the area. He has 34 T3 anti-air SAMs. Look at that. And they flew over 23 of them on the way in and ran into Noob Dragon's ASF coverage. It would have been better coming in from this angle, but that lesson will be learnt now. I doubt they will approach by that vector once again. Well into the standoff phase now. Depony with his satellite causing problems up at the back. It's having power issues? Potentially. Depony maybe not doing quite as well on eco as we thought. That might have been reclaim related. He's steady at 269 now. He jumps again then up to 450. Hard to tell. Yeah, I think it is 269. What he's producing by the looks of things, but he's pulling in a lot of reclaim. And the shields, having mentioned it earlier how strong this section look, have been breached with the combination of that Novax satellite and at least 2 Tech 3 artillery pieces. Doesn't want to lose that P-Gen, and he does. Ouch. How is Dominic's doing on that side of things? We have a nuke, and that nuke is out from Dominic's. I'm guessing in case he's about to lose it. Just wanted to fire it. We'll see if it's a good target selection as a result, or if it was hastily made. Seems to be heading towards the plateau in the bottom left, a place where he felt he'd get a safe landing for that nuke, but in fact he doesn't. Was not well scouted. There is an SMD there. Shoots the missile down without any difficulties. There are now 2 Novax satellites causing problems for Team 1. Hopefully that's a support commander going pop and I haven't missed a kill. I haven't received a notification, so we'll assume that. Scathis that we saw under construction earlier has not advanced very quickly. We haven't increased the amount of build capacity on it. We've got 2 T3 engineers and a support commander now, and by the looks of things, 3 more support commanders moving in that direction to assist. But Dominic's looking very vulnerable now as the artillery continues to rain down on his base. And the Novax continue to circle overhead. Shields do blink on just in time to keep out the next volley. But it's the combination of these 2 weapons, the artillery fire and the satellite fire, just proving too much for Dominic's right now to contend with. He's going to start losing those shield gens. Oh my goodness me. Calamitous for Team 1. Dominic's air production will crash after that. He was so very successful against the Lovely with that snipe. Another support commander goes down. Down goes to strategic missile defense. Dominic's takes a little bit of fire there. He's got advanced nano regen on board that commander. Needs to get himself deeper under shield coverage nonetheless. But is anywhere safe. If I was Valdobi, I'd be like, don't you come under my shells. Don't you come and attract the fire to my base. I would say it like that because not many people know that Valdobi can't pronounce shields properly. He says shells. Something he's actually very sensitive about and I probably shouldn't have brought up. It's again Dominic's absorbs some fire, but what? What killed him? What killed him? Answers in the comment section if you saw that coming, because I didn't. Suddenly Koff dies a death and the entire western flank. Apologies for missing that one, but it was during a very quiet spell of gameplay. Just shows as a caster you've got to keep your wits about you. Shmoo picked him off with some kind of air attack. We've got a lot of strat bombers here, so he's in the habit of producing strats right now. How very irritating we missed that, but that is absolutely huge. That was going badly for Team 1. And now Psycho Ad looking to advance into the power vacuum that's been created by the demise of Koff over on that western side of Team 2's territory. It is now a 4 versus 2. Yes, Depony is having great success, but it's like they get their head above water, they get ahead in one area, and then they lose somewhere else to a strat snipe, which I'm assuming that's what that was. I'm assuming they managed to complete the kill, but lost all of the strats in the attack. An attack ping on that Scathis. Could that mean attack from Team 1, or is that an assist request from Noob Dragon? Valdobi now the target of Depony's standoff units. Wow. Okay, so more happened than we realized in that attack. He also lost the Novax centers, so that's interesting. He's UEF, so maybe it wasn't built by Depony. Depony assisted the construction and it was transferred over, but maybe it was built by Koff. He started production, perhaps, and now as a result, when he went down, it took those Novax satellites with him. That's absolutely huge. That's going to massively take the pressure off Team 1. And you can see the results in their actions here. They are feeling pretty buoyant as they steam in through the front door with these bricks, but they are being cut down pretty clinically by these two megaliths. This megalith belonging to Noob Dragon, which is critically damaged, just 4,000 hit points left, needs to get a rank in vet urgently, excuse me, which he's very close to doing. There he goes. But that, along with a couple of whalers, just brutalizing this brick squad as it rolls in through the front door. Megalith for Deponi with 118 kills there. Really didn't last very long at all and didn't inflict much damage either. There is another attack coming in behind, and these are all sniper bots. Trouble is, they can't really utilize their range. And Shmoo, I'm guessing, with a second strap bomber attack after the first one was so successful, coming in from the east now. Revenants transferred over from his Cybran teammate, going after Deponi, who's trying to get in the water. Doesn't make it. The AoE takes him out and Deponi goes down, leaving Noob Dragon all by his lonesome. What a stunning turnaround. That has just won the game for Team 1. They take it with 3 stunning strap bomber attacks. Down go everything. The GGs are already out from Noob Dragon. He knows he's done and dusted. Thought we could have made a comeback. Well, you were doing it. You just couldn't contend with the strap bomber rushes. And the Revenants, well, they weren't transferred over, so he had his own factory. He was producing Cybran tech. The Revenants, with their sneaky, naughty, managed to sneak in through the side doors and pick off the comms when they were vulnerable. Just incredible play. That, yeah, what a turnaround for Team 1. Thanks to amazing airplay. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. As always, don't forget the Patreon campaign. If you've seen everything, there was a new cast up yesterday. I think that was cast 24. So that's 24 unique casts available only to Patreon subscribers. It is just $1 a month, guys. What is that? That's a newspaper or some equivalent. So come and check it out. And yeah, new casts every single week, or as best as I can manage. That's certainly what we aim for. But until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile signing out.